Hi everyone, welcome to the new episode of the Not Perfect Show. Now, the whole idea of this show is to tell you stories about people who have been reasonably successful, post their career, post their studies, and how they've got into their professional life. What are the quick moves that they did in the professional lives to get into the right place and do the right thing? And these are stories of not so perfect people, because out there you hear a lot of stories of people who are really perfect, who have done the perfect things in their life and have been immensely successful, but a large majority of people sometimes lose their way, maybe in their school life or sometime in their college life, and they're able to get back on track, in their professional life. So don't let the marks in your college or school judge you. So this show is about getting a new perspective to how you can get your career back on track, how you can get a professional life back on track, even though you faced some hiccups, previously in your life. So now today with me I have Parth. Parth passed out in 2016, and I'll ask him to give a small introduction about himself.
Yeah, firstly, thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on this not so perfect podcast because I consider myself as a not so perfect. And to talk about my professional career, I passed out in 2016, and I quickly jumped on to something called as a SEO organization at that time because I did my bachelor's in mass media and the digital world was just starting to evolve. So I thought of giving my hand on SEO and content writing. So I worked there for like a reasonable time, and then I switched to PR. Uh, Content and has always been my thing. So I joined as a content writer in the public relation firm that I work with. There also I did reasonably well, and it was a startup again. And in startup there are different roles that you have to be a part of. So I started off with content, and then I was moved again to PR as well. So I used to manage content, and I used to also create opportunities in public relation field.
Mhm.
Then I again switched to sales and in a home loan company where I did for a decent of amount of 1 or 2 years as well. And then I joined Amplispot, and I feel at that time, after roaming in the market for like 4 to 5 years, I then found that this can be a fit for me. So that's how I joined Amplispot.
So you went to an SEO company, then you went to a PR agency, then you went to a loan company, and then you went to a tech company.
Yeah,
So like, how many years was this? Like 7 years.
yeah,
Out of that 3 years, you were roaming around.
exactly.
Was it because you were not sure about what really you wanted to do? What was the gap? Like, were you frustrated with those jobs, or?
Uh, I wouldn't say I was frustrated, but once I finished my graduation, I was really not sure where I want to get to be honest, uh, because I've done bachelor's in mass media and I had my hands in many things in college. I really couldn't identify where I'm good at, but I was one thing for sure that wherever I get, I will evolve. So I think in that phase when I joined content SEO, I tried adopting there. Then I joined PR. There also I got evolved and I got adapted. Then I joined loan company and I did sales there also I worked, but then I was not getting that a kick like what I'm exactly doing, to be honest. So that's where I took a break of 2-3 months after leaving the loan company where I was into sales, and then I joined Amplispot. And while I joined Amplispot, there also I was not sure what I'm going to do, but one thing that I liked about joining this firm was that the culture, the vision that we had. Initially we had a vision, but we didn't have the process at place. You know it very well, but still I trusted the this firm, and that something might come out of it because there was grit, there was vision, and we had that goal, we should reach to some place. And I've been here for 5 years now, almost in October I'll finish my 5 years. And from where we started, from where we are now, I can really say that I took a right call, to stay back, even in a
Right,
place where
right,
there was no process at place. My founder, you did not know which role I will,
right, right,
which
right,
role I will be a part of, but he just kept me saying, okay, let
right.
him be there. With time being, we'll see what.
So let me go back to this. So when you got into BMM, right,
Hmm.
after your 12th, uh, why you took up BMM? Let me ask you
To
this.
be honest, I took BMM. I mean, I didn't. It was not my choice. I went back to home. I scored some average marks. I've been really average student in my school and my college, and I asked my family that put me in a place where there's no math. be honest, because
You didn't want mathematics.
I was really bad.
So you didn't know about other options other than BMM which didn't have mathematics? Like you knew only about BMM?
uh, I did a decent amount of research in whatever time I had aside sport, because I was too much into sports. So I removed few hours and research online what is there, what courses are available where there is no math. But I got the option of psychology and all that, which I didn't want to get to. But then few friends told me that if you don't want math, you go with this, and that's when I went into BMM. It was not my call, but it was someone else's call. But I just went into that, and there was no perfect course for me based on my personality. But then I was like, let me go to BMM, and then I'll see what I can do.
Right. So it's like a little bit of herd mentality.
Exactly.
So do you regret that?
Not at all. Now, after where I'm right now, I do not regret, because uh, coming into BMM, it teaches you a lot. I'm not suggesting everyone this course, but for me, if I were that at that place during my 12th standard, I didn't know what to do. But getting into Bachelor of Mass Media, it gives you a lot of confidence. I was a very shy guy, and I used to go to the last bench, sit quietly, finish my lectures, and go home and play my sport. So that was my routine kind of thing. But coming to BMM, uh, it showed me so many people coming on the stage talking, and I was like sitting behind and just listening to them, and that gave me a kind of a kick that when will I start talking. So slowly I started interacting to my neighbor who sits beside me, slowly to the faculties, and then slowly to the other people in the colleges. So that's when I started to talk. So once I started to talk, that's when I realized okay, these are the opportunities that are there in the market, because before that I was hardly talking. It was just
So what could you have done better in 3 years of your BMM if you were to go back and advise your 15-year-old, what you could have done better
I
in
could
your
have
life?
I would have done some research on what are the opportunities that are there in the market once you do finish BMM, and what is one specialized thing that I could be a part of with the skills I had, and then master on it, which I think I couldn't do because I was into so many things in college. I really didn't remove time for myself. I mean, I was molding myself, but in terms of professional field, I should have done that, which maybe I would have been in a much better role in this company or anywhere I was in a part
Right.
of.
So tell me this, like you always keep mentioning about sports.
Yeah.
So, and I've known you personally for some time. So you're good in sports. So why you didn't think of a career in that direction?
In Indian families, to be honest, back then in 90s or early 2000s, it was cricket was
But
just.
you're not like early 2000 product, right? You're a 2015, 16
But when I was,
grad.
but when you have to start a career in cricket, you have to be at your 15, 16. By 15, 16, you have to play for some domestic level at least, or you have to represent some college. For me, when I used to go to play, my mom used to say that okay, you're khelne gaya, you will come back and you will study. So at that time, cricket was there, but it was not that boom as it is now. In today's time, if you want to get into cricket, families actually push you, because there's something called as IPL contract. Every father wants his son to be glorified and have at least an IPL contract. Forget to represent Indian countries.
Right.
So back then it was not the case. There was no IPL. It was just export है, बच्चा खेल रहा है, खेलने दो. But there was no that for myself as
When did IPL start?
2007.
So
2008. 2008.
So 2015, 16, you still had 8 years of IPL runway, right? You could have gone back and done something, right?
I wish now. That's one another thing I regret now to the question you asked before this. So I wish I had that confidence on my skill back then, but I just
Yeah, so what held you back, right? What held you back? Was it the normal Indian tendency that यार job लेना है, job करना है?
exactly that family support is very important during that time. And I maybe didn't have that confidence to go and tell my parents, please put me into this at least some trainings or something that I want to emphasize on more on my skills in this. But as I told you, I was a very shy guy. I did not even ask my parents to I didn't even approach, so it's not their fault as well. So if you are early in your career, if you are good at something, go and fight with your parents and get into it, and then see what is it is, rather than
And do a lot of research.
and do a lot of research, rather than sitting here right now and thinking 8 years, 10 years down the line. I wish I could have joined this.
So where did you waste your time? I'll put it like that, very upfront. Where did you waste your time?
During the
10th, 11th, 12th,
I just
before which you should have researched.
yeah, I think I just kept on playing out of passion. I had little brains only to think that this could have been a career. So I think I was just mad behind the passion, but I didn't know that passion could turn into profession. Maybe that was a loophole. So if you have a passion and if you are good at it, just give it a try to be professional as well. So be it a chess player or be it a badminton player in terms of sport, but in anywhere in the field, if you're good at talking, start your podcast. Even if you're at the age of say 18, you can master it by the time you're 24,
So
25.
what regrets you have, like, if you go back?
One which you made me realize right now itself, sitting back, that I wish I could have joined some academy and I could have been a professional player. And obviously another thing was,
No, but not only professional player, right? There are a lot of other options. You
yeah,
could have been a coach. You could have been a I don't know, physiotherapist for the team. Sports psychologist.
exactly.
So many options are
Many
there.
many options. In today's time, there are many options in terms of, okay, because India cricket has been uh, anyone can join who has basic knowledge about cricket. So yeah, that is one thing I could have researched and got into something at early stage of my career if I was so much passionate about the sport. So that's one thing I.
So right now, what do you do for cricket? Like,
Now I just play for the same thing what I was 10 years ago in terms of passion, that is still there, but much
but you
better.
get local IPL contracts, kind of.
I no. I mean, I just if I have to play, I go to maybe where from where all these Pandyas, Bumrahs have been developed. Shivaji Park, they play the Azad Maidan. So I just go there and just take a feel. Okay, these are the kind of cricketers that are there. So I can just take that feel now. But for me to get into something like this, I mean, I'm not saying that I can't, but the journey takes you that way that now you have got into proper corporate. So I think I can make my career there right now.
Right. So coming back to going really long back in your school days, right? Do you think you could have done something different in your school days
Mm,
or your 11th and 12th?
School days, obviously, I could have talked because, to be very honest, I hardly spoke in my school days. I had two friends. I There were opportunity to be class monitors. Well, and that time in school, hardly you can participate in something. Say you did the debate contest or say outgoing something called as
So school,
RSP.
you didn't play cricket at all
I played. I
for the
played.
school?
No, no. That's what I'm saying. I could have done better by at least approaching someone, talking to someone. So once you talk, at that time you get to know. In school also, I hardly used to talk to anyone. Teachers hardly, friends, two or three of them, and then I should just come back home and do my normal
So
routine.
any advice to young parents, like what they can tell their children who are like, uh,
Talk to your child, even if they are good at something, or even if they are not good at something, keep talking to them, because if the more you keep talking to them, the more you explore about your own child, rather than just wanting your child to do something. You should ask, keep on talking to them, keep on asking them. In their answers only, you will get to know that okay, my child is good at this, and then you can start acing him in that particular role field from the early age. In today's time also, I see many parents taking the child to badminton court, taking the child to some
but that is that so? For example, when you will have your child,
uh,
you're probably going to take your child for a cricket
not
academy.
at all. I mean, I'll just take him to places and I'll see where his interests are, and then I will just ensure that what I didn't do for myself, I will ensure that he has it at least from the early. Then it's better even if it's okay if he fails, but at least he had that try which I couldn't have. So yeah.
Got it. Have you ever thought of esports, playing online and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I started off, but it requires a lot of time, and I'm very impatient in terms of gadgets, so I just keep it away. And I like one-on-one talking to someone. If I'm even playing, I need two players with me. I can't play with computer. I just keep it up.
Right.
So e-games used to interest me, but takes a lot of time, so I'm
Right.
very
So
impatient.
what I can read about the whole thing is you kind of followed the herd.
Yeah.
Then you completed your BMM, then tried out the different things like SEO, PR, tech, all those things, and now you've settled into tech. Any particular reason you've settled into tech, or now you don't want to jump around and mess up your?
No, and I mean, when I started off, the reason I started off because it was a tech firm, it was a fresh firm, it had fresh ideas, fresh people, and a goal. So that is when that made me hold back and give it a try for at least a year, so that because tech was growing, AI was coming into the field, and we were early in the industry to come in, and we had no competitors, so we were actually sitting on a gold mine. So I thought of this is something which can either go up or slide away down, but we were
Right.
there to manage that downfall, but we kept going up, and we are still in the process to reach somewhere.
Advice for youngsters who are passing out, BMM, BMS, or other courses right now. What's the advice you'll give them? How to go about the first job? How to look for the first job? And second is what to do in the first job.
Okay, so what I will ask them to do is, firstly identify what really you want to do, because just like me, if you don't know what you want to do, get into something, you will waste your time. I won't say I wasted my time. You will you will be there, but then you will, on the job, you will think of what should I do, rather than instead of that, you should think before job what you want to do. So when you're working somewhere, you're thinking, "Arey yaar, ye nahi karna, I want to do something else." But that is not the right time to think. So it's better you do understand what you really want to do, and then identify companies, here I will grow, here I will, learn these things, and then, get into that particular job. So that is one thing, which is very important. On the job thinking is not the place you have to think. You have to think before and then get into the right place, and that's where you will, once you get to that place, then you will identify your next 5 years, 10 years. So that's what I would like to say then.
But I have a difference of opinion here. Like first you get into a job and then you realize this is messed up place or this is exactly not what you want to do, even though you probably planned it.
Place is a different thing that you
No,
can't.
sorry, forget the place part of it. But suppose you get into a role and you realize this is not exactly what you wanted to do. So I've seen all these youngsters to be, really confused in their first job. Whatever they do, they feel that the grass is greener on the other side. Any advice for them?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you do, you like what someone else is doing. So that is so very much evident. Even if someone is doing really well in the field, he will always find someone other doing better. So it is important to get into a role, and then if you understand, well and good, but if not, then you should quickly take a call and, leave that place, rather than, sitting back and thinking, giving more time, and then you will be stuck there. So if you think it's not for you, just switch and
Move on.
change.
So I think so far the discussion was really serious, right? And at some stages I felt we were slipping into a depression, especially when we talk about cricket and why you took BMM and
Yeah,
stuff like
I get
that.
a FOMO. Yeah.
Yeah, like whether you went wrong, right? So let's have a fun round.
Mhm.
Okay, like we wanted to get some fun element to it. So actually we want to do a rapid fire,
Okay.
and you have just 3 seconds to answer.
Just 3 seconds.
Yeah, 3 to 4 seconds, and you have to answer it fast. Whatever comes in your mind, you can say. And then we go ahead and there's no editing to this bit, so it'll just go as it is.
I'll try.
Yeah, and don't think too much. Just let us know what you feel.
Okay.
Right. So the first question is, what's the last thing that you posted on social media?
About it's a reel about my own performance in cricket. So I posted.
And when was that?
Uh, today, I think 6 months ago.
So we need a clip of that.
Sure.
Oh, 6 months ago.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just a scroller of Instagram. I like
Right, right. So now let's move on to the next one. Android or iPhone?
iPhone 100%.
Why?
The UI, the comfort, it's overall. I think now I'm hooked to iPhone. I mean, I can't see myself having an Android in my hand.
What was your first job ever?
First job ever, I went to a printing press where my college used to print magazines. So I did an internship for 2 months where I used to edit, write content for my own college.
Right, right.
So
So you did an internship in college.
Yeah,
Your favorite podcast or YouTube channel?
I think I like Raj Shamani's podcast. He actually brings a lot of good people on the table, and the questions are interesting. It's very engaging.
Got it. Working from home or office?
Office 100%.
Why?
We sleep at home. We can't.
A lot of youngsters won't work from home forever.
Don't. I mean, if you are working from home, then be a freelancer. Then don't come to office and work. Yeah.
What's the last long song that you listened to?
Uh, I think it's a rap which was going on. My brother was playing at TV, so I think that's in my ears right now.
So one app on your phone that you use the most?
Instagram.
Instagram. Who's your favorite teacher and why?
Teacher.
Yeah.
From a school per se, or
Anywhere.
I think I like. I always pick from sports because that is, actually I can relate sports with life. So I think there are two of them. There's one is MS Dhoni and one is Virat Kohli. One is a calm thinker, one is an aggressive thinker, which have got success in their own ways. So I like both of them.
Right. And least favorite subject in school?
Math.
And one trend that you can't stand?
One trend.
That you can't stand?
People dancing on a particular clip and making it viral.
Oh yeah, right. The
I mean,
same.
they just the one unique steps come in and wherever they are.
But yeah, you said Instagram is your favorite app, right?
Yeah, just for entertainment. So I laugh when people do that thing. So that's a kind of, in my free time, in my stressful hours at work, that is one thing that engages me.
Right. No, so good, Parth. So we have a last couple of questions, and this is very specific from a careers perspective. How you can guide youngsters to take the right call, the right time. So, what's the best piece of career advice you have ever received?
Be consistent in whatever you're doing. Once you know that you are on the right track, be consistent. It will always give you the success you have always desired of.
And how do you manage work-life balance in your profession?
uh, with the startup I'm working with right now, it's a bit chaotic in terms of we have our own set of targets and everything, but I manage my time whatever I have during my night time to meet my friends, play the sport I like, to catch up with old
So you
friends.
get stressed out?
Some days, but we have weekends, so it's better.
Can you share a mistake or a failure from which you have learned from your career?
uh, as I said, I didn't introspect myself on what I actually am, and then connecting with the career that I should go on. So I think I was good with content. I didn't actually pay attention to that. If I would have been in my early stage during internships or after my college, I could have joined some a media agency or a digital agency where content was their go-to thing. I think I could have been a better content writer today, to be honest.
But ChatGPT would have destroyed it.
I would have find some ways, be more creative. Chat GPT is ruining their career, but I could have done better if I would have. I trusted my skills. So AI is AI, humans are humans.
So, what's the one skill you believe has been a key to your success so far?
Now, if I see, I mean, consistency is one thing that I think now I have developed. Earlier, I used to be very defocused, easily distracted, but I think now I've been consistent enough to know, because I know where I'm going to. Where's my path now? Earlier, I was. That's the reason maybe I was not focused, because I was not knowing what I'm doing. But once I got into what I know, what I'm doing, so I think
So it's interrelated.
yeah, 100%.
Chicken egg situation.
Yeah.
Focus
This
versus.
is the consistency. Yeah.
So, any tips for networking, especially for youngsters who are getting into their professional life?
Go out to social events, but ensure that the reason why you're going, it's not just for for attendance or something. So if you are good at something, if you're good at writing or something, go to book launches, but pay attention what they're doing. So wherever you go, ensure that there's something you're taking out of it, and that will actually help you to evolve in your own career.
Uh, what's the one thing you wish you knew when you started your career?
It's very difficult, and you if you you have to develop your leadership skills since the time you start your career, because if you are good at something, if you are starting your career, in the years to come, you have to believe that you are going to get into a leadership roles. So it is very important in the early age that you read, you listen to leaders and how they manage the team. So in the early stage of career, you have to start developing yourself as a leader, because in the 5 years, 10 years down that you're going to lead a team. So that is something, if you're very earlier, start inculcating in yourself.
Right. Any advice for negotiating salaries?
Advice
Yeah.
for negotiating salaries. Uh, Achieve your KRA for the year, so though you don't need to actually negotiate. The company will pay you whatever you ask.
Got it. Can you share a tip for maintaining motivation and passion in your career?
If for staying motivated and passionate, I think if you are loving what you're actually doing, every morning you will come and you will be motivated. Like if you want to crack a client, if you want to crack a deal, every morning if you have that same goal, so I think eventually within, even if you can crack it within 15 days, or even 7 days. So I think if you like what you're doing and you want something to desperately happen, so I think that will only motivate you to come to office and give it your best every day.
So basically, you like something that you're doing, and
That
then you don't
that's
have to
enough.
worry about the other
Yeah,
aspects.
exactly. I mean, it
So
will,
you have to find something that you like.
early stage of the career, well and good, but even if you find a bit late, but make sure you catch up for that.
So let's just reimagine your career. Suppose you were, in some IPL teams, you know, management team, not a player,
Management.
but a management team who manages a lot of things for that team.
Yeah,
Would that have been a dream career for you?
I'm exact, because I'm a very detailed follower of cricket. I would watch each and every player's actions, what he's doing on the field, and I would have given my team a tip. This batsman is like this. He is not good at this thing. This fielder is very slow. You can actually run twos at that particular if you hit there. So I would have been very good in strategizing and studying the opposition team and then giving
So you're suppressing that passion and just working
yeah,
in.
and then I'm removing that on wherever I'm playing right now with my friends, colleague, whatever it is. So I just try and implement this. So
Right,
just
right.
me convincing myself that I am playing cricket till now.
Any sign off tip for
Uh,
young guys entering,
BMM.
not only BMM, any undergrads, getting into the professional field, any. So you have seen a lot of people, doing good, doing average, doing poorly in their job. So based on that, any tip that you want to give them so that they can do very well in their first jobs?
If you have some skills, you should enter early. That is the one thing. College life, yeah, it is there. We are there for it to enjoy, but ensure in this 3 years you get something out of it aside, the certificate and the marks that you get. And once you are, in your college, you get into something, and then make sure that you are rigorously following that for the next, 5 years, because college छोड़ के first 5 years are very important, because in that 5 years either you identify yourself and be a leader within 25, 26, or you identify something at 26 and then be a leader at 35, 40, which is the new retirement age in India. So that is very important. Starting early and and being consistent in that particular thing is very important.
Got it. So thanks a lot, Parth.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed having this
It was
conversation.
fun. I mean, I spoke a lot after years about my own college life and my journey, so it was fun.
Thanks a lot. I hope
Thank
a lot of you all find this helpful. At least someone to discuss, to online, hear the stories out, understand what they went through. Because just like he followed his friend's advice and got into BMM, probably if I was his friend, I'd have told him to focus on IPL, get into some team, even though at no pay, just get in there and make your resume. But I was not his friend back then.
I wish I had one.
But these videos are for you all to understand what are some small things that you could have done differently at various stages of your life, maybe in your 10th, 12th, in your undergrad, or immediately in your first job. What are the small things that you could have done? So here the small thing, at least the learning that I have is, a small thing was just give a shot at your passion, right? His passion was not SEO, his passion was not PR. Now tech also is somewhat there now, his passion was IPL, cricket. So what if we had done something small there and done differently?
Yeah.
I hope you don't resign
No,
after this
now my
podcast.
agendas are different, so now my KR is also different. So yeah.
Got it. Thanks a lot, Parth.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.